All right, in this video, we are going to go over how to make an export graph in Desmos. So you might notice this funky thing here. This is the display capture in the software that I'm using, and it looks a little bit goofy, but that's just the way the software works. So anyways, let's go to Desmos. All right, so what we want to do is we want to, excuse me, we want to be able to make a graph, label the axes, and export it. All right, so let's start off with something simple. Let's say 2x minus 1. All right. So we have a graph, 2x minus 1. We have a simple line. Now, first thing we want to do is we want to add axis labels. All right. So we're going to click on the little wrench up here in the upper right corner. Now, if you go down here, you have this. So you got this menu. And if you go down to where it says x-axis and y-axis, there's a text field right next to them that says add a label. Okay, so I'm going to add a label. I'm going to say x, and I'm just going to add some units to this label, since you might have to use this like it's from an applications project or a problem, and the variables have units, so you have to add those units when you make a graph. So let's say if it's in dollars, I don't know. Okay, y, we're going to say this, we're going to say y is in years. So all I do is click on the field, type in what I want, hit the wrench, and you should see that the x and the y axes are both labeled. Right next to them are the units in parentheses, and that's how you. Now we're going to move on and export the graph. So we're going to go up to here, this little box with an arrow coming out. This is shared graph. We click on it. Okay, so there's a couple of different things you could do here. For one thing, you could take this URL, the URL of your graph, and you can copy it, and then you can paste it. You can paste it in a website, you can paste it in an email. You can export the image. That's what we're going to do. We're going to export the image. We're going to click on it. Okay. Now, when you export your graph, it's only going to come as a PNG file. So if you have a particular preference for something like a JPEG or a TIFF, well, you're kind of out of luck here. But they still come out pretty nice. All right, so size. I always go with large square whenever I make graphs. And then for line thickness, I always choose thick. And that usually works pretty well for me. All right, so now I'm going to click on Download PNG. And there you go. You can see here that it says Desmos Graph 36. Yes, I make a lot of graphs in Desmos. And that PNG file has your graph.